Off a quick Facebook, real quick. Can I get it off? Can I get it off? Can I get it off? All right. So hey, how y'all doing out there? I'd like to welcome you to Starving the System. This is the live internet TV show. I'm your host, Elohim, and this is the show that empowers you with applicable information that will empower you and enable you to break free from anything or any system that wants to take your money, lock you up, or make you sick. Again, I am your host, Elohim, but I'm going to let you call me the same thing I let my Rock Hill, Facebook, Twitter, NorCat fam call me. I'm going to let you call me E. So, hey, this is the continuation of debt elimination with the sovereign Joseph Jones. He will be with us shortly. So while he is away, I can do my usual formalities, and that will be to tell you, we apologize. Al apologizes for us being 5 minutes late. Okay? I don't know. Anyway, so look. No, peace, charming jerk. I appreciate you, man. Always out there, faithful, you know what I'm saying? Faithful supporter. I appreciate you a lot, bro. So, but look, what I need you to do, first of all, is please let somebody know, whether it be via text, tweet, Facebook, whatever you need to do. Tap your mom on the shoulder, call your baby mom, whatever you need to do, but let folks know that it is the show about debt elimination. Not just debt elimination, but today he's going to give us the step-by-step process to eliminating a debt, an actual debt. You know what I'm saying? Now that's big. You don't get shows that you don't get shows that big every often, man. This is big, life-changing stuff right here. So please let somebody know about it. Even if they can't watch it live, let somebody know that we have the archive shows on debt elimination. That's what Mr. Joseph Jones, that's what he actually does. This is his business. That's it. And his business is good. I'm telling you. He's not giving you some way to scheme or get over. Like, this is what he helps companies, big time people do this thing. And let me tell you, I don't know what kind of car he had before when he was coming here. Al, you seen the car he got now? Yeah. I hate to talk like that. I don't want to say, it's materialistic. Like, which I want a Benz. Shit, I ain't gonna lie. I want a Benz too, Al. I want a Benz. I want a Benz, but I want it doing something I love to do, doing something that's helping the people. If I can't get a Benz by doing something help me out, I'm not gonna get the Benz. You know what I'm saying? I used to want to bust somebody across the head for the Benz, but I okay, I'm sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. So look, I'm just kidding. I want to address how many people have been following me on Twitter. I'm not going to address that right now. We need to recap. If you did your homework, what we're supposed to be talking about is House Joint Resolution 192 of June 5th, 1933, Public Law 73-10. Kahiri, appreciate your salute, bro. If you did your homework and you read the language of that resolution, they put it out right there in front of you. I knew about this. I knew about this House Joint Resolution and everything, but I've never actually read it until he told me to, and then looked up certain words and see what they mean, like offset and stuff like that. He told you to Google that word, and if you do that, greetings, Rob, Jack, appreciate you. If you do that, man, you'll see the word offset, and it's actually used in the House Joint Resolution. Is basically what he said, that the government says, hey, we broke, we bankrupt, we took all the money, all the gold that is, which it was the money, and as a result of us taking everything, we're going to offset all your debt. And that's basically giving you an instrument, whereas to offset the debt, meaning counter and balance it out. So these things seem skeptical to me because it's not a part of my logic to understand it. You know what I'm saying? So I always knew about this, but I never knew that it was people out in the world doing this. And now I'm meeting people who, are offsetting their debt. We actually had one guy on, it's like the third show, Introduction to Law. We had Monty Franks on, and he actually he didn't talk about it as much, but I know for a fact because, we communicate that he had a debt offset. He I'll let him explain that to you when we bring him back on. But so basically, that's the foundation. If you saw his previous shows on introduction to sovereignty, then you saw how he got up to this point by, every human being sovereign. They just need to know how to operate in sovereignty, and by there's nothing you actually have to claim or anything. What you just need to know is the proper paperwork and the step-by-step process to go through to get this done. So another thing I want to bring out real quickly that I need you guys to help me out with is about the car sale that we have. I actually didn't submit. I'm gonna put it on me. I didn't give Al the information to put up on the board. But what you can do is, what, I did give it to Al. It's not. I'm not gonna. I want to take the fall for it, man. But Al's great, man. He just got so much stuff to do, man. So and it's my fault. I slipped and didn't let him know I sent it to him. But you can go on the website if you're on right now. You'll see where it says community. I don't know if it says community chess or community something, but it says something with the community in it. If you go into that location on the web page, it'll show you where we have the free car repair giveaway we got for single mothers. So that's really important. I want you guys to really get that word out there for us, because we can't see everybody out there that needs this service. But let your folks know, man. This is big. In conjunction with Clayton County Automotive Repair, we're actually going to take somebody. It don't matter if your engine is blown, transmission blown, your valve cover gaskets blown, your clutch out. Community resources. Thank you, Mr. Rajak. It doesn't matter what the problem is, as long as you generally know the problem. Hey, this is Joseph Jones calling me right now on the phone. He's supposed to walk in the door. Let's see who he was. Yes, sir, Mr. Jones. Okay, is the door locked? You just come on in. We got you. Okay, we got you right now. How many shows is the guest just get on the phone? You know what I'm saying? This is the realest show, man. It's the realest show ever. Mr. Jones right out there, but not. So, but please pass that word, man. We want to help. We've gotten a few people to sign up, but I want to really make sure we get the person that really, really needs this the most. The single mom that's out there that's really, really struggling, especially around tax time. You got the money, you don't want to have to spend it all on the car. There we go, right there. There goes the sovereign Mr. Joseph Jones is back with us. Good to have you back.
Hey, how you doing?
We wasn't talking too bad about you. Al was, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't even say nothing. Al was talking real bad about you, man. So, looking very clean and.
Thank you.
I'm telling you, this I want to be like this dude, man. I'm trying. Y'all, how can you not listen to somebody, you know what I'm saying, who's popping their collar like this? You know what I'm saying? He got the big car keys, man. I'm trying to get the big car keys like this dude, man. He didn't have those big car keys the first time I seen him. He got the big car keys now, man. My car keys look real small next to his. It's not about cars and it's not about cars and clothes. He has very nice clothes. He has a very nice car. Sure, he stays in very nice, but it's not about those things. It is, though, in a way. I'm not going to lie to you. I want to be comfortable. I'm sorry. Okay, so look.
Well, we're here to talk about that tonight.
There you go. Peace, Laval. See you out there, man. Appreciate you. Okay, so look. I went through real quick. We did a little recap. I talked about, the homework, House Joint Resolution 192 of June 5th, 1933. I got to look down. He just recites all this stuff and can tell you. But basically, when you look at that Public Law 73-10, when you look at it, it basically says in layman's terms, okay, we took all the money out of circulation, all the gold.
Right.
We know we're wrong, so the remedy for this is we're going to offset your debt. And then I Googled the word offset, just like you asked us to. And to offset was basically saying to nullify it or to equal or to, to make right, as for dealing with financial, be an instrument to offset the debt. You know what I'm saying?
What's interesting and what people out there need to realize is that since there is no money, this is the first rule. You have to understand that there is no money. And it takes a a while for people to grasp that concept. Intellectually, you understand what I'm saying when there is no money, but you really don't understand what I mean when I say there is no money.
You can't feel you.
You can't feel me.
Right, I feel you. I feel you.
Now, but when you start to understand it, you'll see in everything that we deal with in society, you are the creator of money, because since there is no money, then all I can give you is a promise to pay. All right? Promises. That's right. Promises to pay are used as money. And they come in many different forms. A bond, like your word is bond, is a promise to pay. A promissory note is a promise to pay. A bill of exchange is a debt instrument. These are all, like I just said, debt instruments. So now the creator or issuer of that money is the person who signs it. Because so when you sign a negotiable instrument, like when you buy a house at closing or when you buy an automobile, you are actually creating money, because debt is used as money. So if I'm creating a debt, then I'm just did what? Create the money. All right. So it's coming all from you. So the bank is not really giving you anything. All right. They're not loaning you a dime. All right. Or in any kind of shape, form, or fashion. What goes on with a bank is this. When you sign a promissory note under Title 12, 1811 L1, when you deposit a promissory note, it's the same as money. So when you give them that promissory note, they take it and open up an account in your name, and then they money change it. You know, like in the Bible, when they're talking about the money changers, they kicked them out of the temple. They just convert it from one form of a promissory note to another form of a promissory note. They take it from the promissory note you signed at the closing table and then give you a Federal Reserve note, which is a promissory note. So they didn't loan anything to the seller of the house. He's going to buy a house. You know, all I do is I sign a promissory note. They turn around and take my promissory note and give him another kind of promissory note. You see it based off of your promissory note. So they didn't loan you anything.
Right.
All right. So now, how do we take care of our debt? Well, we have to expose them. We got to pull their drawers down. You know.
Okay.
I can't say that on TV.
You can say pull drawers down on TV. You can't pull drawers down on the actual screen, but you can say pull drawers.
Expose them.
Oh, exactly.
Okay, maybe that's a more professional term to use on the air.
We're
going to expose them. Okay, for who they truly are. We're going to take their mask off and pull it off. Okay, and there are a couple of things that you can do, and you may want to write this down.
I got it.
All right. One of the things that we can do is called a validation of debt request.
This is homework.
And another thing that we have is what's called a qualified written request. Now, let's start with the validation of debt. When you validate a debt, there's only one valid way to validate a debt. And that is that the individual, on the other hand, has to swear to God that you owe them some money. Now, some of y'all out there go to church and just give lip service to church. You know, y'all, as soon as y'all leave the church house, well, you know, what goes on in church stays in the church. You know, and then they come outside, you know, you kind of get lip service to things. But there are other entities out there that take it very seriously if you make a promise to God. So these entities, they understand natural law, and they're not going to swear to something when they know they're not telling the truth. So they will never, ever swear that you owe them some money. And the reason because is that they didn't give you any money. So what you do is you simply say, hey, you write a letter and say, hey, I'm requesting, and under law, under the Truth in Lending Act, and also under real estate, the Fair Debt Collection Practices Act, under 15G, I think it is, when you ask a creditor, let's use the word alleged creditor, because that's what they are. And always put that in your paperwork. I allegedly owe you money on an alleged account number, and you are allegedly the creditor. Everything they do is allegedly because they haven't proved anything. So I'm writing them a letter, and I'm asking them, okay, would you please provide me some type of evidence that I owe you this debt? If it's a credit card company, you say, hey, look, can you send me the original credit card application? I mean, well, maybe you don't want to send it to me, but hey, send me an affidavit stating that you still have in your possession the original credit card application I signed. And if they don't have the original credit card application, guess what? They don't have a leg to stand on. Now, for all of you credit people out there who clean credit, I mean, we've all ran into that, you know, and these people, they think they swear they clean credit. You could implement this into your arsenal in attempting to clean credit by writing a credit company and saying, hey, do you have the original contract that I signed? If you do not have the original contract, then me and you don't have a contract, and we have no business with it. You need to take this off my credit because you are now engaged in fraud. in which they did that already in the first place. But anyway, and most times or not, they don't have the contract. Now, another important step that I must say is that you always have to use certified mail. You cannot correspond with somebody just through the regular mail. And in addition to that, you always have to use a notary. You have to use a certificate of mailing with the notary. Why the notary? Let me tell y'all something. I want y'all to do some research on notaries. I want you to take a trip to the law library. Yes. And I want you to go to your local courthouse. You go to any one of them, or you go down to Emory University, down to Georgia State. And I want you to get an Am Juris. They're green books in any law library. If you want to know the game and don't want to know how to do things, those are the books you should be reading. But you go and get you an American Jurisprudence, and you look under N, because these are just encyclopedias, just like a Encyclopedia Britannica. You get to the N and you look up notaries. And you need to go and study everything about a notary, and you will be surprised at the power that a notary has. I mean, they can marry people, issue warrant or arrest warrants, all kind of things that they keep secret from the general public. So what do we need the notary for? Well, the notary is a witness, all right? He is sitting here watching you, what you're putting in the envelope. Because, see, what the credit card company will do is, yeah, we got a letter from you, certified mail, but that's not what was in the envelope. And how are you going to prove what you mailed them in an envelope? How are you going to prove it? You can't prove what you put in the envelope. You can just prove you mailed an envelope. They can say it was empty. So you need a witness. And that's what a notary is, a witness. And a notary will put a certificate of mailing with, which basically states on such and such day at such and such time, I witness Joe Blow put in an envelope a validation of debt request addressed to cheat you out of everything you own credit company on this and such a date, okay? And then you put that and fold that up. You put it in certified mail, put the certified mail number on there, put it in a nice envelope, and send it off to the creditor. Now, he has 10 days to respond to you. And the 10-day time frame comes from Truth in Lending Regulation Z. And what is the 10 days composed of? Okay, this is just re-education and edification. It's 3 days mailing. The clock starts as soon as you put it in the mailbox. Okay? 3 days for it to get there. Once they get it, it's 3 days for them to decide what they're going to do with it. And after that, 3 days return mail and 1 day for Sunday, because they don't count Sundays. So that's where you get your 10-day time frame from. Now, after 10 days, if they don't answer you, you usually go to a next step. You go to what's called a notice of default and opportunity to cure. And what that means is I'm going to send you another letter saying, hey, a couple of days ago, I sent you a letter requesting X, Y, and Z information. I haven't heard anything back. If it was a problem or you didn't get it or something like that, I'm going to give you another 10 days. Get back with me. And after that 10 days expires, your notary is going to issue what's called a certificate of non-response. And that is basically equivalent to a judgment. And what that is it's locked down. You got it airtight. Now you have proof that you attempted to rectify a situation outside of a court. Because let me tell you, when you go to court, courts are places to resolve disputes publicly. So what a judge always wants you to do is, hey, y'all try to work that out before you bring it in here, and you exalt, and you waste all the resources of the court. So you should always try to, take care of your problems privately first.
And you said that in the previous shows, you don't want to go to court. That's not where you want to be.
You want to stay out of court,
right.
Okay? And basically, notaries are like street judges. They can give you a judgment. And you can use that judgment. You can file it in the real estate records. You can send it to them. There's a lot of things you can do with a judgment. A notary is more powerful than a judge insofar as a judge can only act off paperwork that's placed in front of him, and notary's paperwork is prima facie evidence placed in front of a judge. So when a notary has a certificate of non-response or something like that, and you give that to a judge, the judge got to rule on it. The only way to overcome a certificate from a notary is a jury trial.
Wow.
A judge has no authority to overcome that. And now it's a presumption, and I don't want to get into presumption. I'm getting too deep in the law right now. I'm not going to get into that. But what you need is you need a notary and certified mail and some good letter writing skills. All right. You can get rid of your mortgage. You can get rid of your car note. You can get rid of those credit cards. Because really, in actuality, they're already paid for because there isn't any money. Everything is already paid for. Think about this for a second, E. Did we just have a bailout?
Yes, we did.
It's like, I think Obama ended up getting like 1.3 trillion in the end. Something like that, bailout money. Where did that money come from? $1.3 trillion, and we broke. Can anybody answer that question?
Like a gigantic Xerox machine that you just put
Xerox
$1 on there and then just press copy.
And this copy printed extra money, right? Okay. Well, I mean, it's cool. You know, the government has the right to print money.
I feel like they're getting off my back. That's where it came from.
Yeah.
It came off my back.
Actually, this is what happened now. This is what happened.
I said Fed money.
Obama went to the federal, actually Bush did first, because you know what Bush did, he stole all the money, stole $800 million because they raised the oil rates. You know, he owns the Powder Oil Corporation, him and his cronies. They raised all the oil. Y'all got to buy gas. So he's taking money out of circulation every time you go to the gas pump, because they ain't spending it back. They taking trips around the world, taking their girls out and everything. They ain't going to put their money back in circulation. So every time you went and go, he took $800 million out of circulation. And he turned around and passed the law to put it back, $800 million. You know, and Obama came back and added about another $500 million on top of that. Now, my thing is, where did that money come from? So what had to happen is Bush and Obama, they went to the Federal Reserve, and I think we've already talked about the Federal Reserve is not a governmental entity. All right, it's a private bank. And they went to Ben Bernanke, and they said, Ben, we need $1 trillion. And Ben said, Obama, why would I give you $1 trillion and you already owe us $13 trillion? Well, I know, Ben, I know. But look, I got something for you. He reaches in his pocket and wow, what does he come up with?
Birth certificates.
Birth certificates. All right. Birth certificates are like car titles. You know, like, it's like, you know, you get your title of your car and you go to Title Max and you need some money and you walk in Title Max and you give them the title to the car and they give you some money. You get to keep the car, but they take the title. Now, you have to make payments. And if you don't make the payments, they come in what? Take the car. Okay. Right. Well, that's called pledging a security. All right. And that comes under Uniform Commercial Code under UCC Article 8. And they use this all over the world. You ever hear when the United States is entering a security agreement with Iran or something like that? You know, they use the Uniform Commercial Code all the way up to the highest levels. So what they're doing is they're pledging human beings. They don't call them human beings. They call them human resources or shadow property. So they're pledging that because you have value, because you can go out, you work, you're creative, you may be able to rap real good, make $1 million. Who knows? You know, you may be the next Donald Trump. Nobody knows. So you have a value associated with you. All right. So they can take that, and everyone has about an average value because everyone in America is going to make a certain amount of money during their lifetime working. So that makes, you know, they can take that title and it has value. So now you can go to the Federal Reserve and say, look how many babies were born. We're going to pledge them to you, all right, and you give us some money to put back in the economy. So they said, oh, you're going to sell your children to us?
Yes, exactly.
Well, you don't have to say it like that. Oh, okay. Right. So they take the birth certificates. It goes to what a company called the Depository Trust Corporation, and they hold it in a holding company called Seed Corporation, which is spelled C-E-D-E. Now, you should take a Black's Law dictionary and look up the word Seed Corporation, and what you will find, it means to relinquish. And Seed Corporation has over $20 trillion in assets. You probably never even heard of it. Some of you probably never even heard of the Depository Trust Corporation on 55 Water Street up in New York.
I've never heard of any of this stuff.
All right. So they are the holding company that's holding the securities, i.e. birth certificates for your body. All right. Now, of course, as a youngster, you ain't making no money till you get about 18. So they got to write bonds off of this stuff and sell them, saying that they promise, you know, they got a bond off of your body saying that when you get 18, you're going to pay it back because you're going to go to a job and pay income taxes. And that's how they pay it back. So back to the question. If you borrowed money based off of me to bail out Chevrolet, why do I have to go up to Chevrolet and pay for the car when you already borrowed the money using me to say the company still can build some more cars? I mean, I got to pay.
What you said.
I got to pay again?
Wow.
So, no, you don't. And that's what this is all about. And I know it kind of sounds a little confusing. Some of y'all might be out there saying, what is he talking about? What are you talking about there? Let's see what this is.
He was just saying, Riyad Laval was asking two things. One is he needed to know how he can contact you. He was asking about a book. And he was saying fiat money. I don't even know what fiat money is.
Fiat money is money. Fiat means by decree, which means they out of thin air. All right. Okay. So, yeah, I meant fiat money. So, yeah, money by decree. Tillman Jones has a book that I can purchase. I'm working on a book. You know, if they don't come up missing
You
first.
can always look in the guest on the website. Go to guest, and his email is there. You can email him. Al, could you put his number up for us? Please give him your number out.
770-557-9889.
Now, I want to make a couple points. One was that, well, I had two, but I don't remember what the second was. I know one was the fact that, no, I know what they were. It's because we got to wrap it up soon. One was the fact that when he said that when you were saying earlier, you make them swear to God, you know, that they owe this money. I just don't want to clear up the fact that he's not telling you that you have to have a certain belief to do what he's saying to do. You may be an atheist, but somebody made a good point to me one time. If the powers that is controlling the situation, if they believe a certain thing, and if they're acting in a certain realm, then you have to go to that realm and you have to move a certain way to get them to move how you want to move.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So if this is what they believe and this is where they're operating at, and this is where you have to operate at. So that's one thing I just wanted to make that kind of
right. And you know, we could go into because that's a very good topic to actually go into is that, like, the word God and all these different things, because God can mean different things. God is a German word, comes the word gut.
Right. 500 years old.
Yeah, it's only been, it's probably German language, 750 AD. But what we're talking about is natural law. There's a cause and effect to everything. And if you lie, I guess for a better, or are dishonest in some type of shape, form, or fashion, there's a direct effect that you are sending out to the universe that's going to rebound to you. And there are certain people who are well trained and, who are well trained in the mechanics of how the universe operates who understand that. So they're going to honor that. Nobody's going to do anything that's going to hurt themselves. No intelligent person. So what they try to do is they try to get you to hurt yourself. Remember, the one law in the universe is that they cannot violate free will. No one can violate your free will. So what they do is they will coerce you. They use fear, intimidation. They use all type of weapons at their disposal to get you to do something against yourself.
And you talk about natural law on the previous Sovereign show, on sovereignty. I just want to say one more other thing because we got to wrap it up. But we were talking on the phone, man. I was like, man, you sure you don't want to tell everything, make yourself, you know, if this your job, this is what you do. And I just want you to know what he told me, man. He said, you know, he want everybody to know this. He wants to be obsolete. You know, he don't want it to be any need for him to do what he do. You know what I'm saying? But but that ain't right. Even if you tell some people, like some people can know how to do their own taxes if they can just read the books and then do their own taxes.
Right.
Some folks is going to want to pay to get their taxes done because they don't have time to read and all that stuff. Right. I want them folks that I want you to do my stuff. I got too much going on.
Well, the thing is, like what I was saying, if everybody knew this information, then they wouldn't be doing what they're doing.
Right.
You know, it wouldn't be a need for me. I'd be happy, you know, because they wouldn't be stealing from me. I'd have my home, my car. I'd be living okay. I wouldn't have to do all the things that I'm doing because they couldn't steal anymore. You got a section of society. Let me tell y'all something out there. I'm going to leave you with this. Secret societies do exist. All right. Definitely. It's not a conspiracy theory. All right. They do exist, and they exist. They would say that they're not a secret society. They would say that they are a society of secrets. All right, that's one way of saying it. And I'm not making a reference to the Masons or anything like that. But what I am saying is there are people out there who have information and they keep it secret, and it empowers them and puts them head and shoulders above the rest of society. And in my mind, that right there defines a secret society. Right? When you have information, you refuse to share it to others, and you use that information as a weapon against your fellow man. And that's what's going on right now. And the only way is, like I said, my people die for lack of knowledge. That is so true. That is a maxim. Thomas Jefferson, he said it very good. He said, those who wish to be both ignorant and free are wishing for something that never has been and never will be. Freedom and ignorance do not go hand in hand. They do not share any type of synergistic relationship. All right, so get it out of your mind.
Well, that was wrong. Right?
You got to go out there and educate yourself. And I guess I can break it down to 4 letters. You have to want to learn how to read.
R-E-A-D.
All right, if you don't want to read, I can't. All my clients, I give them information, come to the door, they sit at my table. I tell them what I'm going to do for them. They pay me or whatever. But the first thing I do is start pushing books at them, videos. everything and say, look, you have to educate yourself. This is not really designed for somebody to do something for you. This is designed for you to be able to do something for yourself.
And the education, that's what the show's about. And the education takes away the fear so you can stand, man. I'm telling you, in that courtroom, boy, you be scared. The judge, the cops, everybody looking at you. Rather handle it like this. So look, man, I see a third show, man, or something. This don't feel.
I know I was late kind of days I owe you and everything.
It just don't feel all the way wrapped up. What y'all think out there, man? I don't know. Y'all let me know, man. I think we need one more show to kind of just. We're gonna need them forever as long as Starting System on. But I just mean to wrap this whole debt elimination. I mean, I just don't feel like,
Right.
One more time?
Yeah, we do one more time.
One more time, man. I think he got a little bit more information.
Somebody said we need a trilogy.
We need a trilogy. Charming Jerk, I appreciate that. But look, I want to say thank you, man.
Hey, no problem, man.
That was big.
Always a pleasure.
Validation of debt request, notice of default, certificate of non-response. These are your tools right here, man. He just gave them to you. We need to look those things up and be ready to understand it and talk briefly about that for our third show. And we're gonna wrap it up, and we're gonna eliminate some debt out there, man.
Hey, free yourself.
I can't say no better than that. Y'all be safe, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Till the next time.
Hey.
Tell folks about us.